Just gonna start off saying I don't ever do this, but I'm that irritated with this trailer. We're gonna do a review. So to start off, I ordered this December of 2023, picked it up January of 2024 from Texas. It is a 7x14 dump trailer. I opted to get the 9K axles on it instead of the traditional 7Ks. That's part of my problem I got going on now, as you can see. So we'll start off with that problem. I've only got, again, maybe a year and a half on this trailer. I don't use it all the time. I have a few thousand miles on it maybe. And here's what I got going on is you can see these nice pieces that have worn through. That's supposed to go right in there. So that looks real great. Coming over to this piece, you can see I've already worn one side of that. It's oblong. This has this bolt with just a nylon bushing. You know, let's just put a piece of plastic on an 18K trailer. Smart. On top of that, the bolt's not long enough to utilize the castle nut that it comes with. So instead of putting the right hardware on, you know, they just, we'll just weld it on so you can sit there and fucking struggle. Here's this one for the rear. It's probably the best one, which is shameful. One on the other side. In the rear, the metal's, two pieces of metal. They're done. Along with this again, and that one's even more worn out here on the bottom. Piece of plastic. Yet again, bolt's too short, so they just welded on the castle nut. Front, this is probably the worst. It's really fucked. All the pieces that came off of that one. That's the current problem. Of course, Texas Pride's like, oh, it's not our running gear. We don't care. And it's only 1 year warranty. I'm at a year and a half, so I'm just screwed. So, out all that money, time. On my way home from Texas, made it about an hour. Until this old girl was sitting like this. The bracketry we got going on here. So I added this. They just had a shit weld here in the corner, and of course it broke. I added this. Still kind of had a problem. So I added this bar that comes down to here, and that's been fine since. That, since I didn't even make it home with this problem, I did charge them 2 hours of labor to weld this back on, and they were good about taking care of that warranty problem. Another problem I've had is this whole tarp system. This is no longer original. The one they have it way up here, so you get more of a parachute effect going on here, and shit flies out easily. And their guide system was crap. You really had to help it along. If you look up any pictures, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I redesigned this. I know it's not the best, but I kept playing with it until I got something that I liked. But this system is way better than what it was. There's other trailers that designed them down here, and I really like that way better, but they didn't put the ram in the great spot, so you can't do that. And this causes a few different problems. The paint, they go on about how great their freaking paint job is. You know, they have the state-of-the-art paint booth. Well, this probably happened within the first month. A couple trips. This happened. And it's everywhere. Not to mention all the runs. I don't think you're going to pick it up in the camera, but there is runs all over the place that I discovered the day I picked it up. It's a horrible paint job. I did get the jacks on it, which a lot of jacks are just back here and they're just a drop leg. This is handy because you can see I'm currently using those jacks to do all of this work. So you can change your tire on the side of the road without needing another jack, which is great. Or yeah, you can do the block in the tire, whatever. But this works out great. So kudos to them on that. These hinges, very fucking weak. I've had it repair this one already. I've had to readjust them all, along with the whole gate hinge. Relies on this bracket right here, and then this bracket right here. So this little bit of metal right here is supposed to hold all the way to that gate, which is also what your ramps sit on. So just recently, I've broken both sides. I've had the gate fall off while I was loading that skid steer, which is 10,000 pounds on it, which thankfully it broke right after I got past it. Most of the weight was on the deck and not on the ramp, so I didn't have a situation going on there. But I've had to double this up. It was just a 1/4 inch piece of metal. I added another 1/4 inch, so it's 1/2 inch thick now. So again, another pretty piss poor design. These ramp covers, I mean, really, you're gonna take a hinge off of a hollow door in a house and just weld it on a gate? Like that's horrible. Like, not impressed at all with that design. Latching system's been okay. We'll go on with this. This pin, which is for your dump gate, that's just kind of tack welded in here. Like I've had them beat this around, but it is, any day, this thing's gonna fall off. Again, this holds the gate from going out. So it's gonna go out. These tie downs, that I did. This is original tie down. Look how small that is. A normal 5/16 or 3/8 chain hook will not fit through there. I don't know what they expect you to do with it, but that is crap. Not to mention, it's so far forward, and that one is forward as well. You can't tie down decent sized machines. If you had a baby machine in here, sure, that would work, but look how far that is. So I added these myself, and look, you can actually get a freaking hook through there, and they're back at the back. So you can actually tie down a machine. Along with these ones up here, again, they're way back here. My bucket sits up here. So these get covered with my bucket. They're pointless to me. So again, I added a 1/4 inch angle iron here, welded it all in. So these are actually useful. Again, bucket comes down here typically. So you can't use anything down here. So I put those on. It is nice having the future. This, in occasions, is handy to have. Gives you a little bit more room. Has some advantages to it. But, yeah, again, I mean, a couple thousand miles, a year and a half. These grease zerks have fallen out. They've got chintzy brackets, okay? I don't know why you do this. Why? Why do you plasma cut this bracket off? They welded on a spacer. It's like they had this bracket sitting here, and they're like, oh, dodos, there's not enough gap here. Yeah, let's just cut it and put a piece of flat stock. Like, that's some backwoods farmer crap. And all the welds on here, farmer welds. They're despicable. Along with these brackets, these are not welded on very good. I mean, look at that. It's crap. It's a matter of time before I'm going to be fighting these fenders too. Along this other side, see, same thing. They whacked it. You can see all the slag here. They wagged it with a torch or a plasma cutter, whacked this off, and just spaced it out. And this is, you know, I didn't go down there and pick it up. This is a custom order trailer. Dealt with a salesman, and this is what I get. I mean, look at that. It's only half welded. You can't make this up. I mean, that's just piss poor everywhere. Everywhere, piss poor welds, piss poor design on things, piss poor paint. I mean, look at these weird brackets. Like you designed this trailer from scratch, and this is the crap you come up with. I know this is on the cheaper side, which is still wasn't cheap for this trailer. Christmas special, custom again, order it with the 9Ks, and I paid $11,000 out the door, which, you know, is not a diamond seat trailer, but it's still, for 11K, I am constantly having to work on this thing every time I use it. Not every time, but every few uses, there's something happening, something breaking. Just getting pretty aggravated. I did opt for the 3/16, or upgraded flooring. I think 3/16. Yeah. But yeah, they didn't take no thought. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna slam it down on here and create spaces here where two pieces are on top of each other. So, you know, this is gonna rust. Thankfully, I'm in Colorado, so it's rather dry here. But if this was in the Midwest, it would be problems. And, you know, it's not like they seam sealed it anywhere. They attempted to seam seal it up here, which did a crap job. But, yeah, places like this, where, you know, as you can tell, I'm in a dry climate, and I just got water sitting up in there. I've had to readjust these doors a lot. Again, it doesn't take much to get them off. These also had nylon bushings in them, which have also already worn out. Again, it's 2.5 holes, and I only use this for side work. So I guess that about wraps it up for now. Just again, just a little frustrated. Oh, almost forgot. Look at that. Yep, boys and girls, they can't even manage to put the hinge on in the right spot. It don't even line up. Not even close to being lined up. You know? But hey, let's go ahead and move that over and weld on it some more and destroy the beautiful paint they got on here. I did change out and upgraded to 2 batteries. I did have a job. I was moving dirt on the same property, really close to each other. So gave a little bit more battery because I wasn't keeping up with their cheap baby battery that they put in here. Not to mention the box is smaller than others. You can tell I only have 3 straps in here, and it did manage to fit another battery, but you cannot put binders in here. There's no room, even with the battery gone. The binder size of the handle, you can't put chains and binders in here. Yeah, you're just screwed. Leave them in the bed of your truck, I guess. Does have an onboard charger, but that's very typical for them. Yeah. Oh, and this wonderful jack handle design. Like, what do you want me to do with that? I don't understand what the idea is behind that. So, you know, I gotta take it and shove it up there. Again, I'm probably missing more stuff, but so we'll just wrap it up there.